Saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Minutes of last meeting. Anybody have anything on that?
No, I read through them and I didn't see anything that was.
I don't understand a little bit of the bottom paragraph on the first page. If it goes over. And there was a discussion on getting electric lines toned and the concrete blocks in place. That was the blocks for the...
That was where we was talking about maybe having to trench the electric in, and might as well look to see what we were going to have to do to get the block set in that area so that we're not
Digging,
having to
trying to
dig
dig
over them electric lines.
So that makes sense now.
Which we no longer have
No
to
longer
do any
have
of
to.
that.
Right,
It's
that's all.
taken
That
care
just isn't what we did. All right.
of. In that, Chris Troutman has talked to me, but he couldn't make it. He called me again today. I told him we had the problem resolved. I said if we get anything coming up, I'll be glad to get a hold of you.
Right.
But,
Oh, good.
we had Bruce down there, and Bruce was taking care of it. So
Yeah.
he said, no problem.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad
we
we
get
get
any
that
more
done.
work, he
We're
would
making
like
good headway.
to have a
A
chance
little
to
everything
look at it
going
a
on.
bit.
And our light problem that we had is going to be totally fixed. Should be.
It is fixed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
fixed.
he's done. it's
New
fixed.
conduit around the inside, all around.
What had happened
Vern
with
and I
that,
told him to do
with
that.
the poles is that conduit and the concrete had separated. The white wire was separated or broken in two different places in that conduit where it had separated, the joints had separated in the concrete. And so instead of trying to pull through that again and having the same issue, he ran all new conduit on the outside, inside of the wall.
Yep. Okay.
Well, if we ever have problems,
Anything
yeah.
else on the minutes? Did we approve?
Yeah.
Did we approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second it.
Motion on the floor and second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Treasurer's report, Sue.
Okay, checks for Bowman, $200. Sue is $184.70. The Fed withholding was $30.60. March taxes was $675.55. Citizens Electric was $440.50. Tom Oakenfuss was $1,426.25. Kurtz Farms was $4,830. Auto Tire and Parts $143.46. Hush Blackwell was $1,591. County Home Center was $83.92. Lakeland $8,142. AT&T was $83.70. MFA was $4,558.90. And then Summit Buildings gave us $250 refund back. And then we invested $100,000 at MRB Bank on a 12-month CD at 1%.
Okay.
And then more fence was $1,500, and that leaves us with a balance of $87,508.81. And then our current bills outstanding are from Handy Tech Enterprises, Tom Oakenfuss, Kurtz Farms, Vern Bowman, Contracting, Hush Blackwell, and the County Home Center.
I'm glad that we get them LED lights. Our electric really went down after all.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
I see.
The bill we got today was $371.
Well, that's because the lights have been out for a while.
371. That's about $70 cheaper than
Yeah.
it was.
Exactly. And that's just because of the LEDs.
And we might have a little lower bill with the proper wiring and all.
Yeah.
I imagine there's some shorts in some of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, and that's what I think. I think we had more issues with that lightning strike than what we realized at the time, because we're still sorting through all that stuff. Like today, when I just told you,
That breaker could be faulty from that.
Well, yeah. See, I don't know. I don't remember what Bruce said, whether he put a new breaker in there.
Oh, that's what, they didn't say it, but I think.
I know he had taken breaker one, since pump one wasn't working right. he took the breaker from pump 1 and moved up there to number 2 so that I'd have that soft start,
Oh,
and so that I'd have
that's
2
when we pulled
pumps.
them.
And I'm wondering if that's the same breaker that he left in there. I mean, every one of them breakers could be faulty to some degree after that lightning strike. Is it, well, the one that was in number 2 would not stay tripped or remain on. And so that's why he pulled the breaker from number 1 and moved up there to number
Right.
2. And then,
It's a storage shed.
so,
That's another one, yeah.
well, you know, I think breaker 2, the original breaker 2 was weak anyway. I think that's the reason I never could get 2 pumps to run at one time on there. If the breaker's weak, it won't stay tripped or stay engaged.
That's top of Levee.
But now I can run two pumps at one time off the generator. That cut the time, that
Oh,
was a
that's
game
for you
changer.
guys, yeah.
It takes me 4.5 hours to pump
This- I
7, 8
kept this
feet down
stone.
now, compared to 14, 15 hours.
I kept the stone separate on that.
Big change.
Yeah.
I made it from,
That's the rock you put
and
on.
the hauling. That's the rock and the hauling on that invoice there. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's all your rock tickets.
For what?
So that's all,
Blackwell did this.
That's all Kurt's charges? That's not bad.
What do you think of
That
that?
was-
Because he did a
That's
tremendous job.
Second round.
That's the second one.
That's the second charge. Remember the first was,
Yeah.
You almost
4,800 or something. That was for clearing all them ditches.
Okay, yeah.
And then that one was to clear behind the city dump
Oh, okay.
and the burning, and I think the burning's on there, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
two-
know he had to
remember
come
we
back
told
and
him
do the
that
burning,
two
yeah,
separate,
yeah.
and then clearing along the,
Well, it still ain't bad.
on Carl's and Neil's property. That little dab there, that was $180 or
That's
whatever.
still very reasonable.
Yeah.
Because when I estimated that for that grant, it was going to be a lot. I mean, all we had to do was supply supervision. What was that?
That's the rest of them, that's Bowman's, but I understand all them burn, that was when we pulled the gates out, or
Yeah.
the rake, not the rake, the grizzly bars.
Yeah, and they worked on.
And we did that twice, and they worked on that pump,
Well, we fixed that.
they worked on
that
the
hydraulic.
generator.
We got the parts ordered for that hydraulic, but they never come yet. to see
They
them.
still haven't come in, okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, they haven't come
Yeah.
in.
It's still dripping, but
We probably ought to check that oil level again and maybe add a little oil to it so we don't.
that oil is in the, over in the old shed yet.
Was this gravel just for where the new
Top
building sits?
of the levee when they graded, remember they
Oh, okay,
crowned the
okay,
grade?
yeah, yeah.
It was so chunky of big
Oh, I
rock,
know.
they had to put some inch minus over.
Yeah.
And that was the hauling and the material.
I didn't know that rock was hauled in for that.
Yeah.
Needed to be done.
Yeah.
That was before the bike ride, I think,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
it
hadn't
was.
been graded since 16.
long time, with a big grader,
Yeah,
yeah.
with a big grader. And shaped, it needed to be crowned big
I'm
time.
glad Brad and them got all their bills. I hope that's all their bills we
Yeah,
got
that should be everything.
paid up. That should be all I can remember.
The generator's running good. I have tripped the main breaker on the generator twice now because of pump 2. Pump 2 has tripped that breaker twice, and it's always during shutdown.
Is there
Or
any?
no, it was not. Pump 1. Pump 1 is the one that tripped the genset breaker
Today?
twice.
Yeah, but
Today
not
or
we
Today.
haven't-
The other day when I was trying to run pump 1. Once when you and I and Bruce was there, that's that night that happened. And then the next day, it tripped the genset breaker, and so I stopped using pump 1. And
Maybe that breaker's fault.
he's checking into that. There's a control wire that's come out of its grommet down there at level 1 on the substructure and that big panel down there. So he's going to come back and trace that down and find out what's going on
These are
there.
bills directly to us.
So,
That normally these are
Sure is
bills,
handy when he
this
does
lumber and
come.
stuff is bills directly to us.
Pardon?
You had this lumber and stuff that we use for the
Yes,
partition wall
yes.
directly to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
you would need all these, Sue, I'm sorry.
And the concrete blocks and,
That was some for, set that building on.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but that's the last one.
Okay.
I don't know what the total of that one is, but some of them bills are, lumber was $600, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't get that much. You've seen what I got.
Well, no, that was just a few boards. Yeah, you got
You
several
already seen
tickets
that
signed
one.
on there, just verify them tickets
Oh, okay.
there.
There's the concrete blocks. Nice second.
If there-
Did
One
you
is-
have some blocks brought out?
Yeah,
Okay.
remember,
32, I brought blocks out. Why are they charging a delivery charge?
no, they came down with a pallet full the
Oh,
first
okay,
morning.
okay.
There was,
Okay,
I unloaded them with my little tractor.
okay. Because I know I brought some.
You brought them the second round, we didn't have enough, remember?
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. Do you have pretty much your tractor time and everything up to snuff,
I'm all, yeah, I'm
You're
up
good?
to snuff.
up current?
I just put that down as an hour for our work.
Well, that, yeah, but
Instead
we
of
used
tractor.
it more, and you gotta,
I'm gonna need to up that because fuel's so darn high, I'm not working my tractor for nothing.
well, yeah, the fuel, you gotta
I don't know
have,
how to do that without,
just another half hour to catch, well, well, that'd be an hour, $10 an hour fuel surge. I'd take care of the fuel, overcharge for sure. Should on that tractor, because it don't burn that much probably, huh? It ain't like that generator,
just
40
about
gallon.
I gotta go fill up about every round I come over there.
Well, yeah,
It's got a little bitty tank
Oh,
on
I
it.
got the box almost full for you again.
yeah.
I got
Okay.
the box almost full for you again.
Again,
Oops, I'm sorry, Sue.
I got it.
this afternoon, you know? This afternoon?
Yeah.
Well, I just emptied it.
I raked it twice. I raked twice.
Yeah, it's about,
Right down
it
there.
was about full and they was raking. Well, he just finished raking
Yeah,
when I
I just
left.
finished raking when you
I
left.
just emptied it a while ago, or this morning.
I don't
Well, I know, but I even told him, I said, you got a lot in there, because we emptied, it was full last night when we
No,
left, we
I
emptied it
I emptied it
yesterday.
this morning,
And
too.
I knew you emptied it,
I
because it
packed
was
her in
clean
there
out.
last night.
Yeah, it was hard to get out of there.
It was only about half full. There was a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
it. Okay.
I'm hoping by tomorrow we slow down on this pumping, I think.
Yeah.
If it
Another
keeps
day or
going-
two, yeah.
It keeps dropping.
Yeah.
If you got it down pretty good,
Are there any further
I
questions?
can get it down to 370, that buys me 24 hours.
Are there any further questions on the invoices?
No.
no.
I'll
I'll
make-
make a motion, we
There you go.
pay our bills as presented.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I guess I can. I got to, I guess.
Yeah, it ain't you, you don't
Yeah,
work
you
there
can
no more.
abstain. If you have a bill on there, you can abstain. You have 2 votes of 3 present.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to abstain.
You abstain from
From
your
voting.
portion of.
And
Yeah.
all you have to abstain from is
That's not yours though, that's your company.
Well, yeah, that's different than me.
Yeah,
I'm not,
that's not him anymore, he's done. That's his company, his boy's company.
Well, then, yeah, but it's on.
That's the way I look at
anyway,
it.
approval.
Yeah,
Okay.
We all approve.
Motion?
we're good.
Okay, motion carried. Old business, I guess we've been rattling on that quite a bit, haven't we? Old business, I guess.
No, we've been talking kind of old business there. I don't really have any more. I think we pretty well talked about it.
Yeah, I think
we'll continue on with Bruce getting them breakers maybe straightened out. That's going to be something for new business I'll bring up.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have any old business.
Oh, I did talk, I guess this would be old business. I did talk to the, one of the guys from the Fish and Wildlife, and he was up there mowing them trees, them cottonwood trees up there, and he mentioned about that pipe. If we need any of that yet. And the other day, Oki and I was talking about that pipe and that 4-footer that we did. We can use that if we want to open, put it in at the cottonwood tree by the burn area. That would eliminate, that was supposed to go in there that time, and we was going to buy a 10-foot section, and they had 2 collars there. He's going to take one of the collars, but he's going to leave the pipe and a collar. If we want to put that in, we're welcome to that pipe. We just have to buy a 10-foot section of 4-foot. And we could take and dig it right alongside where that one is. Maybe dig that little one out and put the bigger one in.
You maybe have to take one of them out, the little one out, and put that in next to it.
And maybe if we take the little one out, we can move it over a little bit and then put the big one there, because that was holding back water when we was pumping. It was going up across the road toward the levee, and then going down our new canal.
I think it was doing that, Vern, because the elevation was just that high. Because that water was gushing out. It was swirling out of that pipe.
But if we...
I mean, and once you drop it down, it's not going to run across that road.
Yeah.
That road's got a low spot pretty bad. Right there.
Well, that road needs to be leveled clear up.
Naturally it's going to run across it if it's higher on one side.
Yeah.
That road, when we raise that, we need to raise it all the way up to the entrance of the burn site, just past the cottonwood.
Yeah.
And that eliminates all that from being underwater.
Yeah, that's the lowest point at the
And I'd be all for putting that 4-foot pipe in there.
I would too. I mean,
ideal.
we'll have to remove at least the smallest
We'll
one,
look at it and talk about it,
big of
figure
an
out.
area there.
But that pipe is available for us, and we bought it for that purpose.
That ought to be done before we raise that road then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he asked about any of them other pipe that there, if we had use for them. I said, well, I'll talk with our board, but maybe we'll get together and see, because he said he could use that, he needs that one collar for sure, but he'll leave the rest at this point. And I said, well, we'll get together and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Maybe take a serious look at it and get an opinion, and we'll go from there. Okay? That's all I have under old business. Anybody else? New business? Anything?
Yeah, and you know it, you were there. We brought it up to Bruce that our surge protectors
Yeah.
he's got the one in on the panel, I understand.
Yeah.
But we do not have any on the 3 pump breaker boxes.
He told me today he's getting
We
a
said,
price on it.
get us a price on them with extra breakers.
Right.
So in the middle of the night, we need a breaker, we can go on the shelf and get it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they cost. They're supposed to give us a price on them.
Well, there's several.
We need at least 1 or 2 anyway.
Right.
The motor management relay is right, I think it was around $1,000. The breakers shouldn't be quite that much, but they're pretty expensive.
Yeah. Well, we'll know more when it gets back, so. Okay, anything else on our new business? You good?
One more thing. I did talk to Brad Buckeye, who is digging the ditches along the rail on Lloyd's and somebody else's property. And he's more than happy to go up there and open them culvert under the, he said he'd take care of that for us.
Just by the tracks there?
Yeah, I said, you got any time or anything, or just let me know or let us know. But he said, I told him that's 2 swoops with your bucket and you're going to be done.
Yeah.
I said, no problem. So he's going to be working on that end again here in the maybe next week.
Okay. That'd be good.
I'll keep an eye on it and show him exactly where it's at. So that's all I have on new business.
The only thing I'm just gonna pass this out for you guys because we have to approve our budget next meeting. So if you guys wanna look at, think of some numbers between now and then, that would be good. And I just put where we are as of today minus you guys' 2 bills.
What was the total bills today? You have a total on all it?
And I can get you one.
Well, just roughly it'd be.
Okay.
That insurance that we paid here, that was $8,100, and we have in a budget for 95, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're a little under budget there, maybe.
Why did our professional fees jump so high?
That was all David, well,
Or is that from what was going on? Yeah,
with
okay.
David Human.
Yeah.
And then our audit fee of
Okay.
$5,900 is
Sure.
included in that.
Okay.
And when that,
This pump station upgrades, we haven't spent anything, maybe just
Well, then
these
surge
breakers and the surge
protectors.
protectors and all that could go under that, I think,
part of
Well,
it,
the breakers and stuff would go underneath the maintenance. and
under the
repairs.
maintenance.
The upgrades would be our surge protectors. Because that's something new. So that would be an upgrade.
well, part of this electrical repair is going to be under, from that lightning strike.
Yeah, that's maintenance and repair.
And do you know what that amounted to?
No, I don't.
I asked
I don't remember.
I
offhand.
asked Bruce what, because I was, what rough dollars, and he said most of what he's doing is on a lightning strike, and it's going to be somewhere up above 20,000.
Yeah.
So with them breakers, I don't know what all.
Did we get a check from insurance?
I don't think so. Have we? When did it strike?
Didn't we get that like last year?
When did it
Yeah,
strike?
that was last year. That was 7th month of,
We got it like I'd have to look at the amount from last
Yeah.
year, but we got like 25,000 maybe.
somewhere in there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I did
Well, a
too.
good part of his bill now will be.
Here, we got 20,854.70.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good.
Yeah, so if you guys just want to look at that and think of some numbers before next month.
I think our biggest issue right now is just getting things running right again.
Sorry.
After the lightning strike.
Yeah, we'll be, actually, we're running all the pumps like we have,
Yeah.
and getting Bruce down there and doing all this. We're fixing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That was a long time coming.
Yeah. Well, it's like Bruce, I told Bruce that night that we were down there, I said, this stuff's been in here for 20-plus years, 20, 21 years. It don't surprise me that them breakers are just weak, old and weak. And that's why they're tripping now and why they're not resetting right. And I mean, you got the bumper kits, he's got the bumper kits in, so I can reset the breakers. But it's like that breaker tonight.
Yeah.
If that's an old breaker, whatever happened tonight, she's fried.
Yeah.
That breaker is fried. You don't return from an electrical smell like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was told from an individual that did this his whole life, worked in that electrical department, that them breakers, them big breakers are good for 100 to 125 snaps.
Yes,
And he
and
said
then you have to
they're
put-
obsolete, you gotta replace them.
Well, you
And he
can-
has nothing to do with this. He just was telling me, he said, well, them breakers are probably shot 20 years, they're only good for 125 to 30 snaps.
You can-
And he said, then they're shot. And
And
What
they've
the-
had that.
he did that
What
for
the manual
45
tells-
years at Mississippi Lime, that's all he did was big industrial.
What the
electrician.
manuals down there tell me is they're good for 100 trips. and then you have to put a new bumper kit in them. That's for recharging them. And so you can get extended life in it by putting the new bumper kits in them. But and I told Bruce my general practice is when I know we are done pumping for an extended period of time, I de-energize everything. I go in and trip all the breakers out for them pumps and de-energize everything. He says that's good practice. So the electric ain't sitting there on them breakers.
Well, I don't see, do we have to, what do we have to do on this? We have to,
No, I just handed it out so you guys could think of some numbers for next month.
for next,
Yeah.
oh, next month we have to do it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
it'll be on the agenda.
this is a little bit of homework for us, to figure out about what we want budget for next year.
But
Next-
Mom,
There we go. Okay.
Something to do in your spare time.
Yeah, when you're not doing
I
it.
got a lot of spare time.
Yeah. So, anything else we got? You got anything happy to,
Fish and Wildlife has adopted the property that's close to ours, so now it's our property eligible for conveying eventually. But they still have to run it up the ladder with Fish and Wildlife before anything could be accepted. Jerry Bader came by today. He's going to go out and survey off the Lake Audubon. He's going to go survey that off once the water's down. Of
Yeah.
course, when we get to it, it's high elevation of water. I don't.
Why did they name that Lake Audubon instead of Mississippi Extension Lake?
Yeah.
Lake
At
Norm.
this point.
We got Lake Norm.
Well, we got Lake Norm, yeah.
So once that's completed, then we can take that and get it subdivided, and then there'll be property that we can eventually convey to Fish and Wildlife. So we still wouldn't be able to do it immediately. We're kind of working on a 2 to 3 month plan at this point, and I think we're in good shape.
Oh, and
Is there any way we can lease that to them, or, so
they got to own it
They
if
have
they're
to own
going to,
They don't own it, they don't want
it's
it.
got to be in their possession for them to legally do things or spend any time or money on. It's got to be in their, isn't that right?
Right.
It's got to be in their possession.
Right now, Kurtz is farming it, so we're just,
Yeah.
we're letting them do that as we allow.
so what changes if they take ownership of it?
What Kurtz is allowed to do in the way of pesticides, fertilizer, and that kind of stuff, they'll regulate that. They'll probably only let him do it for a couple of years. And then they'll turn it into a
How
wild
close are they gonna get to?
Okay, so it won't
Lake
affect
Audubon?
us.
How close they gonna get
Pumping
to it?
levels or anything like that?
It'd be,
They gotta stay up away
I
from
think
us if we need to extend it up.
Yeah.
We need that.
If we need dirt
that
someday.
soil.
yeah.
So we figured out a way to make
I'll ask
access, so
about
we can
50
have
acres.
access to it.
To 50
Keep the
acres.
property.
Yep. Great.
Oh, okay, what's the Audubon area, is that going to comprise of 50 acres?
I'm going to wait until BLS gets me the exact numbers.
Okay.
I would say yes, because we've outlined where the lake is, roughly. So I would say 50 acres, but I'm guessing.
We have 50 acres that's perpetually permitted for a borrow site.
Right.
And that's the acres we want to hold on to. And the impoundment and the borrow site that made the impoundment was about 25 acres initially. So it should be acreage all around it, and not just the pond itself.
Right, right.
And it should comprise of near 50 acres, or 50 acres is what I understand is a perpetual borrow site.
I'll send that to Jerry and let him calculate that so he can get that measurement correct.
Right.
And just kind of work off that. He's got a drawing of where the lake is, and then he can just surround that and get the 50 acres out of it.
Yeah, okay. If he's, I know pretty much where that ridge was, but if he's got questions, I mean, it wouldn't hurt, I'll look at that a little. I wouldn't mind doing that, to make sure that we got the the clays, I think that's where the clays are, but being they took some there and they didn't take it all, I'm sure that the rest of it is approved, or they wouldn't have approved it as a perpetual site.
Right.
Okay. Anything else?
I got one thing for future thought. I met with Matt Harmon the other day, I believe it was last Friday, and he's wanting to do another bike ride like he did this last month, next year,
Okay.
on the levee again.
Yeah. Well,
I thought feedback was great on it.
Oh, I did too.
Everybody
I mean,
was
we
well
had-
behaved and got a lot of good feedback that the levee looked good.
Yep. He said that it went spectacular and probably the smoothest that he's ever had one. He says, I get down, we do it again, I'm turning it over to you. You guys ran it smooth. I brought all my radio operators out there. We ran all the communications for him and relays running back and forth
Yeah.
at the aid stations and the rest check-in stations. And it was in cooperation with Perry County and us. And it was a very smooth operation. No incidences. Very good.
we're good.
And so he says, when we come back down, he says, I'm turning it over to you.
Okay. I guess we're done with new business. You got some? Okay.
Good.
And then public participation, I guess we have none. And make a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.